Yeah. Okay, there we are. We're live. How's everyone today? Great. This is our last meditation today. But I may do some. Okay, okay, don't make me feel bad. We'll do another one probably.
It's not easy.
We'll do something one before, but I'll let you know, but you must confirm that you're coming because then I'll just do it for a small group and we may do something special, we'll say.
Special, I'll be there. Yeah.
Okay, it'll be special. If it's the last one. Well, tonight is special too, so.
It's all special.
Yeah, it's all special. Yeah.
Not good Monday.
It can't be, but special. Yeah. So welcome again, and I want to welcome everybody who's joining us from many places, wherever else. I don't have my glasses, so I can't usually see, so I don't read their questions first. But it's good. So I had posted that this time we would talk about not the three truths. I would actually tell you about these three truths. And three truths are to absolute power. Absolute in the sense that a power that nobody can confront, nobody can challenge, and it cannot be ever robbed. It cannot be taken away. So imagine being that power where you're absolutely indestructible. No opposition, no challenge, no time. It's not time bound. It's just refined, most refined form of power and just being that. So how do you think that'll be? Does it sound real? Or does it sound that, oh, she's telling us something, we better beware. Yeah. Okay, does that? Appealing, yeah, because we are all actually moving towards that. Knowingly or consciously, what do we want? We want to be fear-free. We want to have the power to create everything, anything. And we just want to be free in whatever we create, right? And we want to do a full-on creativity. We want to be full-on with it. We don't want to compromise, right? So, and we don't want obstacles and we don't want obstructions. This power has to be free-flowing. You have to have almost like clear vision and extreme intuition and extreme synchronicity. So things are working where you are not pushing the card. You're not making it happen. It's not like, I want to manifest this and I want to manifest that. It's happening, right? Okay, so we will discuss these three truths. I just call them truths. We can call them. So we're going to go with something like if we had three doors, and I'm going to have you experience that through our conversation. So door number one, you open, how does life look there? What's happening behind that door? Okay. Door number two, what's happening behind that door? So you can experience that. Door number three, which I'm talking about, that final power, that beyond that there isn't anything. It just when it's absolute power, that level of power I'm talking about, you can just be full on creating things. There's no more power to get, right? So that is that door number three is the final door ultimately. So door number one, and please ask lots of questions and just chime in. So if you need to understand this. Door number one, and your exercise as I'm talking is that you want to see where you are. You want to see which door, which dimension you're at. So are you at the first door? So door number one is like, imagine like a snapshot. You know, you take a snapshot. So if you take a snapshot of the ocean, okay, or of Ruby, let's say, me. Now, you've got this snapshot and you believe that this is real. Now, that snapshot is basically a perspective. It's a perception that this is what Ruby looks like. You can show it that this is what Ruby looks like, right? So you have basically frozen something in time and space when you take a snapshot. So our perspective, our perception works like that. It it doesn't matter good or right or bad perception. Perception is a snapshot. When you perceive something, you perceive it in a certain way. That way gets frozen. And after that, that may not change for you. You may try hard because now you need to change. So what happens is that, again, if you take a picture of the ocean, you've got one snapshot, you show it to someone, someone says, let's go see, this is beautiful, I can't believe, look at these waves and look at this and look at this. But when you go see it, it's never the same. That is never the same. So if you take a snapshot of you too and you look at you, you would have changed, or you would at different times look different. So, but yet when we perceive life and we perceive things and objects, and we actually look at ourselves like objects, I am a thing and then you are a thing. And life is a thing, which is just happening. So, right? And so if you look at marriage is a thing, divorce is a thing, money is a thing that happens to some and to some not. Then death is a thing and life is a thing, all objects. So this is the snapshot life. This is door number one, where actually everything is only basically that one snapshot, and you perceive life. You think it's real. You believe it to be true. Okay? And it's really hard to convince a person who has taken the snapshot that this did not exist, this was not real, right? So the struggle continues. So what happens in a snapshot or that dimension? So Ruby, I see myself as an object. So object would be, I'm a girl, my parents were this, I was poor or I was rich, I don't feel right, I feel this way. So I can actually, it's all identification to myself, how I'm expressing myself in that moment or what I'm seeing. So in that moment, if I'm not feeling good, or if I'm having a fight with my daughter, then I forget that I'm also a partner, a business to somebody, a sister to someone. Snapshot life is one thing at a time. You cannot see the whole picture. You even forget there were better times. You even forget there were other times. It's just one shot. And then you start to act as if this is the only reality, right? So some people actually, poverty consciousness, it's quite interesting. When people feel poor, at some time in their life, either they experienced poverty or or somebody told them that you are poor. So they have that recorded already. Now, entire life is either being rich or being less poor or being sad because you're poor. So you see the snapshot life? Entire life is on that one snapshot. But we don't realize we are taking snapshots, but we don't change. It all looks the same. So this is me. Then this is my teacher, so-and-so says. So even as I'm talking to you, this is me. You are not me because I can see you there. You're another object with another whatever. I don't understand you. Okay. But I may like you if you like me. That's the transactional dimension also. That if you give me this, then if you are really bad with me, then religion has taught us to forgive, which you never forgive. Because how can you ever forget anything that has happened, right? But that, because you're now wary of other people who look the same way as the person who you think cheated you or did wrong to you. So you never forget, really. So we are trying all this forgiveness, and I'm trying to love, and I'm trying to belong, because inside you're like an iceberg. Snapshot life has no reality. It's not real. It's just a state somewhere that you believe to be real. So you're frozen in time and space. Your reality is frozen. So it's like an iceberg, trying to be warm and trying to always be in the light and always in the sun. So be with people who actually make you feel warm, so who will help you create a better flow, but it doesn't help because we're trying. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I've had lots of conversations with people over a long period of time, like years, and they'll still be stuck on the same issue no matter what they
Yes.
do. And they said,
Yes.
"Oh, I've tried all these techniques, or I've
Yes.
listened to that person, or I've done
Yeah.
this," and they keep ending up back in the same
Yes.
situation again, and it's the same issue, the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's one snapshot, and they've believed it to be true, and now they look everything through that lens. That's all it is, right? So this is actually how it happens, and this is very common. So you can look at yourself. So remember, all objects are outside. So, for instance, nature is, oh, the weather will be that, or the rain is this, the sun is this. I can't see myself in that. That's separate. Rain is separate, weather is separate, rock is separate, the person in front of me is separate, flower is separate, tree cannot be me, monkeys are separate, chimpanzees are separate. Yesterday was something else, tomorrow will be something else in space time. There's always basically some duality, some division. So it's past, future, it's duality. I like it, I don't. So that is basically the snapshot dimension. That's the door, right? How many people actually relate? Now, there's nothing wrong with that either, because these are the three doors that are introduced to us. So if you met somebody very early in your life who actually said that these are choices at some level, you would choose the final door. Ultimate, absolute power, invincible power. But since this is what was introduced to us, so that's what we know. And many people, even when they are door one experience dimension, they're still intermittently just experiencing sometimes randomly other states. But that's not enough. It may just be a fleeting experience. That's not a conscious life. So here, it's really like sleeping through life. You're awake. It's a waking state, but you're not awakened to the reality. It's still, in a way, sleeping and moving through that. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Anything we need to. Are we in this state? A lot of us, do we experience this? Okay. Okay, great, because then you know exactly how it is, okay? So then also, like, money would be here, finance would be this. Now, this also has a lot of stress and a lot of fear, because remember I told you the iceberg effect inside. Everything is never enough, because what if it's taken away? Insecurity. Safety here is a big factor. People choose safety over freedom. No accountability, because I'm only safe when I can do things for myself. When money is in my account, I'm safe, because what if the husband divorced? What if the child doesn't give it to me? There's no trust. And also, there's no sense of responsibility, because there's no larger you. You've bought into illusion almost. So there is no sense of social responsibility, actually.
You're just a victim to whatever's coming along.
Yeah. Now, you may support the society. You may have to be forced to pay your taxes. You may actually give money, because this way you are feeling more secure, because now you got a little sense of belonging in the society, little more comfort. People are talking about you. You want to be talked about. You want to be famous. You want to be loved. I need that. I need this. It's a full-on living state, right? So-and-so is not nice. So-and-so is this. So-and-so is that. Here you may know about the words unity consciousness. You may know about God. You may know all those things, because you've heard about Christ. Oh, yeah, I know the Buddha. Oh, that's a great blah, 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 blah. But, oh, yeah, I read that. I did this. I did that. But the effect, you're not affected by it. It did not change. Okay? So even the Buddha was outside. Wisdom is outside. Intuition is outside when I get there. Happiness is outside. Peace is outside. Love is outside. Right? I have to learn. I don't know, but I have to get there. And extreme desperation also. Okay? Because you're always at odds with yourself. When you look in the mirror, you want to change something. You're never the happy cat. If you're the happy cat, it's just a fleeting moment. I'm better than others. That's my reality. That, oh, finally I did it and I'm going to hold this place. So the tension of holding that place now is another level of stress. Ask a rich person, they're more stressed because now they don't want to be poor again or they don't want to lose what they have, right? They're more stressed than those who have little, right? So the more you have, the little it becomes, and this is.
I don't know if that's true. I'd be hard pressed to prove that.
Yeah. So that is basically, it's very real, this dimension. It's snapshot life, it's snapshot perceptions. I'm making it really simple because you know what? It is really simple. People can give you 10 dimensions or different frequency, blah, 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 blah. In the end, you're fucking lost. Like, what the hell was that about? There's God out there, there's me, poor me here. Now what? Like, how do we get there?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's really because I've been through that and I go through that, so I know exactly how it works. Human consciousness, how it works. So let us come to the, okay, so we know and we can smile at ourselves that, oh yeah, we know that. We know this experience well. Now we're going to move on to the door 2. It reminds me of that show on television, Let's Make a Deal, was it? Choose, choose door number 1. Yeah, and you're always so scared because you don't want to choose the wrong one. And it's free. Even if you got very little, it was free. But because perceived loss, it makes you so, yeah. You can't just go home with a blender, or it has to be a car or a washing machine, if not $10,000 with a holiday.
You have the donkey, you lose that.
Yeah. Then you feel really bad because, you know, it took so much to get on the show, to participate. You were on the stage and you fucked up, you know, like, or whatever. So it's even harder. Okay, so this is our life through snapshot living. We come to door number 2. Door number 2 is different. There's a little more ease. This is where, and I'm sure you can relate to that too, this is where you have a sense that this is me, that is that. So you're still in object, subject, object, you're still objects. But there's a relationship you create with the objects. You can feel something about that other person. You can have a little intuition. You can have synchronicity, slight synchronicity. There's a connection. There's a connection to being wet in the rain. You may start to like that. You may start to look at the flowers and they may start to actually speak to you, right? Intuition like that. There's some communication happening. So there are 2. Flower and me are still 2. We are not one. But because of this relationship, because of the space that now has come closer, this is a different space. It's slightly flexible, so it's not frozen in time and space. I can move back and forth, so I can actually experience myself. So I'm experiencing myself talking to you. I can experience you listening to me. And I know this room, and I also feel it at deeper levels. That can somewhat also be the experience in this state. There's a connectivity. There's a connection. So some people would call it the awakened state. Okay? So you are aware that you may not believe that you and I are one. You may not have that yet, life. But it is that you and I are different, but we seem to have a connection. See? So here you are not talking so much about forgiveness. You're talking more about love. You are sharing. So there is a little already, the edges are slightly rounded here. When you go to sleep, you're not counting your dollars as such because you seem to have a trust that tomorrow will come. That I made it here, I will make it there. So even that level, right? That's a huge, in a way, difference. But life becomes little more connected. I can understand, even though you are different and I'm different, but I can understand your experience. That's our connection. Make sense? Okay. So tell me you understand it. How would you ask a question or tell me something?
can, if I'm hearing you correctly, then, speaking for myself, I mean, door one, you might experience door two occasionally, there's recognizing the synchronicity or the, connections that you have with people or.
Yes. And recognizing when you are feeling sad, not just being sad or angry, recognizing that I am angry. So there's awareness that I exist. There's I exist as a reality, but also the awareness of I exist also is there. So yeah, I'm sad. I shouldn't have done it. I saw myself. I couldn't stop myself. See? So there's already a separation from that object that was before not there. I did it, then this happened, then that happened. But here, there's more possibilities here, more potentiality flow here. So even though you may go to door number one, but the experience usually is better. So sleep gets a bit more restful. You're not so scared of death. You're not so scared because you can actually experience the breath. Because time and space now have changed for you. You can feel when you look at something, it's looking back at you and you can feel that connection.
The world becomes a lot bigger.
Yeah.
This summer I was having really neat experiences with plants and animals.
Oh, cool.
I know, and I actually had an experience like at 12:30 in the morning with a vole who fell in the window well, and I could hear them, and so I got my house coat on and I went outside and I'm like, I have to get you out of the window well, and so I ended up having a conversation with this vole and realizing when I got him out, I'm shining the flashlight and he just stood there and looked at me and I'm like, it's okay, you can go. And it was almost like the vole was there saying, I want you to see me as a vole because I need you to hear what I have to say.
Yeah.
And when I recognized, when I just said, okay,
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
Then he turned around, he ran along the fence.
Yes.
And I was
anything
like,
more to say?
yeah, I didn't have anything more to say. But I got the message. It was almost like, okay, I hear what you're trying, I recognize you as a vole. I recognize you, what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it was done. And then I looked up the animal totems, But it was really cool. It was so synchronistic as to what I had to hear.
Yeah.
So that's a very blessed moment for me.
So you see, your soul is speaking. Your soul is speaking to you through this different object, which seems different. It's still different, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you're using the language. I said, okay, it wasn't going to go away till you heard it. So you see, so there's still that separation, but there's this beautiful connectivity happening. Yeah. Often the flowers were looking at me. I was at the grocery store. I had to buy them. They wanted to come home with me. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So and so really it speaks to me. This is the language you use because you are now seeing things in a snapshot that are moving. Things are moving. You're hearing. You're listening. Communication's happening. You're actually perceiving it a whole different way. You're seeing it different. It's just how you see it. So you can see more than just that frozen shot because now you're putting words to it. Right?
Now I feel guilty about killing all those voles.
Oh, door number one. Back. Door number one.
Luckily, you can make a deal.
You can make a deal.
So I think with those doors, that can also in different aspects of your life. Right?
Yes,
I see
yes.
myself very much in door number one when it comes to self.
Yes,
and all that,
yes.
But door number two in different things.
Yes.
You say you might be in door number one. And
Yes.
The biggest door, but you're on door
Yes,
number two. with
exactly.
doors, so-
Exactly. You perceive them. And then again, this is very interesting because if your relationship with the daughter is door number two or door number one, and your relationship to a friend is something else, then you know there's different hues happening. Then the snapshot doesn't work. You cannot be one thing. You are moving constantly in motion. So 1 minute the mother, 1 minute the sister, 1 minute the wife, 1 minute the teacher, 1 minute the worker, right? So that's also, you look at yourself, not just you saw there was a 5-year-old who looked different, but now the 50-year-old, and how it's like you can't place a finger on it. How did it happen? Watching grass grow. Oh my God, I don't remember, and yet I'm here. So you see all those experiences. So you can move in your relationships. Yeah, you can move. So this is just so you can experience, yes, that these things happen. And ultimately, I am going to tell you and give you the choice, because that's how it is. It is the choice. Let nobody tell you that you will spend 10,000 years in door one, and then 2,500 lives later, you may have a possibility becoming the Buddha. But then somebody rushed before you because they worked night and day, so they become the Buddha. Now they can't be two Buddhas. Sorry, next trip. Sorry, it's taken. Somebody just got here before you and claimed the position or became Christ. All done. The job's taken, you know. So, sorry, go ahead.
You consider that yourself. Can you stay in door number 3?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm giving you such a conscious experience that when you start to recognize these states, it's by choice then. Yeah, it's by choice, yeah. So, and I'll show you in the end that how quickly this can happen, the choice. When you make a choice, then you can do something very simple, and it can actually place you in that final dimension. Okay? I call it the final because there's no growth after that. You're making galaxies after galaxies are being created, but the creator of the galaxy and what is being created are not two. The power that you perceive, you're not going to see yourself as different. Ultimately, it is one thing that exists. It's just power creating power. I will show you the third dimension or the third door. So is that good for us? So here, connection, relationships, ease, it's nice. But you still want to learn, you still want to get somewhere, all of that is there. Now, third door is a very, very interesting dimension. And I call it the final step, really, because I don't think in human life there is more. You come into your full-on power. You don't come into it. The power becomes the power. So there's no separation with you being powerful. So this is a state where you can actually see mystics, you can see poets. So you can now imagine I'm looking at Karen. And when I look at Karen, before door one, there was a separation. Karen is very different. Her knowledge is different. I'm not liking what I see, or I'm liking what I see. All of that was happening. Second level was I can see Karen, I can feel a connection. I may not know it, but I'm going to start communicating. I'm going to start, there's an intuition working. And we don't know why, where, but it's happening, right? Third level is when I look at Karen, and when I'm seeing Karen, I can see her grandmother, I can see her father, I can see the rainbow in her, I can see the sun in her, I can see the water in her, I can see anything, everything. When in every object you can see everything, including yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah. Bye, Rohit. Okay, it's gone. So that, and we've had that experiences too, right? You look at something, a painting, a work of art, because artists, a lot of artists live in those dimensions. They create from that. Now you look at that and you will be able to see things that you can never imagine, because the artist who made it in that dimension from door number 3. When poetry is written, right? When that kind of art comes in, it doesn't matter what. It could be tapestry, it could be weaving, it could be writing, it could be anything, singing, it could be music. When things are created from that dimension, at that time, you transcendent into different. So this is basically not just the awakened state, it is just a full-on state where you would have transcended. There's nothing more. So here power is living, creating itself. There's no separation. You don't even have a sense that I am different. You don't have that sense. So, for instance, I'll show you how people, and we followed them consciously and unconsciously, because that's where we all want to be. We wouldn't follow Tony Robbins unless we want to learn in the second dimension. But in the third, if you want to experience the third, you would follow Rumi. You would follow those philosophers, right? So if you look at Rumi's work, Rumi was in Turkey, Konya. He was a professor, he was a scholar, he was a mystic. And when he had this connection, the third state, as he connected with that, he started to whirl, and he just went round and round and kept whirling and kept whirling. And in that whirling, he delivered 6,000 poems, which his students, scribes, they all found it really hard to write because he was just saying them. 6,000 poems came out of him in whirling. So 6,000 poems came out of, imagine that. Masnavi is his art or his collection of poems, which is read worldwide. Now, this is what has happened not just to him. You can actually see many scientists there. You can see, it doesn't matter, you can see musicians there. So anybody, these are people living that final dimension. Here, there is absolutely no separation, because what you're viewing and who is viewing, there's no difference between the seer and what the seer is saying. It's all one. Here, I am God. I am God. I've heard this story. It's really interesting. It was Krishnamurti, who was a philosopher, was once asked that by somebody that he was in, I think, California or somewhere, that you seem to be an atheist. You sound like an atheist. He says, I was an atheist, but now I'm God. Okay. So this is maybe God, maybe we can throw out God if you don't like the word. We can call it whatever, conscious. It doesn't matter what name you give it. But this is that power that actually is just creating, and everything creating, that is, it's creating, it's swallowing. It's swallowing its own. It's dissolving, it's disintegrating like the human body. Here, you're not looking for a miracle. In level 1, you want miracles because you think it's wonder, it's something out there that, because your entire life, something is out there and you want it to happen to you. Whereas here, you actually say, you are the miracle. You are not looking for life. You are life. So this makes sense? Mm-hmm. This is. So first thing, what do we do? First thing, if we want more of this experience, okay, then you hang around with people who actually are living that. It's who are you hanging around? Who is your company? Are you reading from these works? Because if you have something sitting on your bedside with this vibration, it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean the book could have written hundreds of years ago, but art or whatever, right? Then this is what you're going to see. This is your experience. Whereas dimension or door 2, you see differently, right?
So is this like the Reiki master that puts their hand on the 200-year-old picture and they can feel what the painter was doing when he painted it 200 years ago?
Yeah. Also, you start to see that, and you start to see it in yourself also delivering at that level. What's coming from you is totally, could be multidimensional, no space and time. You won't have that sense that this is mine and I've created it. There's no such identity there. There's no separation. It's just power. So you still have, because the sense that you can see yourself as the creator, as the creation, yet somebody also who's destroying and taking care of things. You're not leaving footprints behind. You're taking. Night goes into day, day becomes this, the rain comes, the sun comes, everything is. Another thing that happens here is that this is where the realization, it's not just a realization, is living from that everything in the cosmos is so meant for each other. Everything is. So that includes experiences, that includes dimensions. That means that the rock will speak, the bird will, as she flies, will talk, or whatever, right? Sometimes you can actually talk to a flying bird who will tell you exactly when the rain will fall. I used to do it in my early years. I would just listen to a crow, and the crow would tell me something. Yeah, 10 o'clock, clouds, 10:30, sunshine. And people thought she's crazy. She's fucking talking to birds, like lost it totally. Who didn't like me? Those who liked me said, ooh, there's something there. So, like, ooh, what else is coming next, So, but those who didn't were apprehensive. They thought, no, this is lost it totally. Okay? We don't need to be talking to the birds. Let's see what we can create, some goodness in the world, like that. So that is what. So that's the life of a mystic. That's the life of a sage. That is the life of a seer. So you're seeing things, you're creating things, and you are not creating it. Just you seem to be part of it, but you are yet the whole. So it's really hard to express it in language, because all language is meant to be, you can only express through duality that this is black and then this is not black. So it's really hard, but poetry does it. Poetry does it, writings does it, art does it. It's not just looking at art. When you are just looking at whatever, you're looking at everything. So that door number 3, that is the final door. That is where it's full embodiment. And after that, it'll keep creating. It never stops creating, because that is the universe. It's constantly in motion. Yeah. So when you're just experiencing myself, you, as just moving, all in activity, creation in act, consciousness in fully just acting, full action. Yeah. So this makes sense? Okay. So simple thing is be in the company of what you want to be. It's really simple. You'll start to see, and even presence. Buddha's silence spoke more. People learned more than what they learned when he spoke. Because when he spoke, it was snapshot. Yeah. But when he didn't, he said everything. So you want to start people, you really start to cherish the silence, because that's what delivers the best, right? Mm-hmm. So in our meditation and in our technique, which is even the Blue Miracle or the Tharang Kriya, we've basically consciously created this for these very purposes. So in that you will have experience of the mind, you will see the thoughts, you will get entangled with the thoughts, you will get entangled by visions, you will get entangled by feelings, and those are the snapshots. You will feel all of a sudden, you may see something, but then start to feel a connection. Okay? And then when you see that is the second door. So it's a simultaneous, the Blue Miracle is the shortest and the simplest Kriya meditation technique, but it gives you the simultaneous experience of all 3 doors. And then finally, there's that state, I don't know what happened. It just became you. That my Father, God, and I are one, as Christ said. Okay? So when we do this, the Kriya now, we have more information, more insight. So we will actually not do it to bring relief. We will actually do it. If your heart says the 3rd door, it chooses the 3rd final state, then that is where it is. And then everything else is, you don't have to worry, oh, that's happening, this happening, because you'll have full experience of that 3rd door too. Okay? Okay, great. So we all know how to do that. We're going to keep it loud and clear. and we'll just go deeper in our technique. So take a nice deep breath, nice smile on your face, connecting deeper, deeper. Feel your head space and feel your feet. And when you go down from the head to the feet, feel the connection head to toe. And then just focus on the connection, not the head. Let the head disappear. Let the feet disappear after a while, and just the connection. Great. Let us just listen to sounds that are coming from the room outside you. Any sound at all, outside the house, outside the room. Again, you are simply listening, so connection to everything else, sound. What you are listening to, do not pay attention to that. So move from whatever you hear, from one sound to another, and soon start to feel the connection, just the power of listening, the connectivity. Listen to the sounds inside the body. And soon again, the sounds will drop. Just the connection is there. This is not just the body, because when you connect inside, you've connected to everything inside and outside. So experience it today for yourself. Simply watch the connection. Be with the connection. There's balance now, flow, harmony, quiet. Great. Visualize beautiful, bright rainbow light at the bottom of the spine. Watch this light rotate. Experience it clockwise, round and round at the bottom of the spine, stirring up this beautiful energy, this beautiful power, the blue power. As it comes up, watch it coming up into the spine, up, 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 all the way smoothly, uninterrupted flow of this invincible power. Just allow it to move through the shoulders, through the neck, just upper neck, then just where the head and the neck meet. Ball of light, blue light again, rotating clockwise, picking up more speed this time. Feel it round and round, really active, alert, conscious power. moves into the head region, filling up both sides of the brain, entire head. And now seeping through, moving down through the entire body, full body in blue healing power, blue light. You can see this, you can experience the connectivity. We're going to 7 times repeat the sound of hum, do it loud and clear, and experience where it is coming from. So hold your focus on the place where you feel this vibration and where the vibrations are starting from. Let us focus on that space. 7 rounds of hum, nice deep breath each time. Hum. Hum. Last time. Great. Remain focused in the silent stillness. In this dark force, things, objects may appear, but the background, it's appearing in this dark void or the force or the gap. Objects rise and fall. Be one, be the force in which they are appearing. I'm going to do a chant this time to create this dark force, give it more potentiality so you can experience, have a deeper experience of this power. You as the power. Om Namo Shakti Om. 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 Om Namo Shivaya. Om Namo Shivaya. Om Shakti Om Shanti Om Shiva. I am the cosmos. I am the power. I am God. Creation is happening in me, through me. I am the creative power. I have the power to create and then wipe off what I've created. I am the ultimate power, invincible, unchallenged. I am the seer. What I see is also me. There is nothing that is not me. Let us together repeat 3 sounds of Om and feeling the state, feeling the seer as the power. Let us repeat 3 sounds of Om together. Project the sound. One more time. One more time, last time. Great. We're going to hold this state, but you can open the eyes and hold the state. We're not going to lose the state. So And we are going to do something nice and unique. So remain in the state. And I want you just to, whoever wants to go first, just say something. You're not saying it to me. You are not telling me your experience. Just whatever your soul wants to say. It's not important what. You can look at each other, you can look at the camera, but say something. Use words, not again to express where you are, but just whatever comes through you, let it fall from you. Don't be shy, just take a nice deep breath and just let the words fall.
Awakening.
You can sing a song if you want. You can just whatever. That's
Calm. Very calm.
mm-hmm. You can say something to each other. Whatever. As the power, as the seer, what words do you want? Do you want to throw into the universe?
Feeling bubbly and connected.
Bubbly, connected.
There's different sounds, different language.
Do you want to?
I feel like if I try and I don't want to leave the space and go into a headspace.
Do you want to just sing something, like one syllable or something? Just throw out whatever is naturally coming. You're not singing a song. You're just
Vashti Swama.
It's a nice vibration continuing through the room.
mm-hmm.
It's almost a connection going around.
Mm-hmm. Swirling, that whirling, Rumi is whirling, where he delivers the Masnavi, the 6,000 poems. That this one man doing it, but here we can see the dance. We can see the whirling, or feel it. So in this, there is no where will it stop? We don't know. It's not musical chairs where the music stops. This energy will stop. It's not. It's just merry-go-round, constant, just whirling. Yeah. Yeah.
I saw flickering.
Flickering.
I thought it was
Mhm.
a candle, but
Mhm. Ever changing, ever changing.
yeah, flickering.
That is the flickering. Yeah. Ever changing life. Ever. Every breath, every new, everything new. Yeah. Pulsating, just
Harmony.
mm-hmm. Harmony with, yeah, just in harmony. Yeah.
And buzzing.
Buzzing, life, alert,
Yeah.
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 Just vibrations,
Yeah.
just
Very high.
alive,
Yeah.
alive, not just awakened,
Tingling all
alive,
over.
alert, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right, you want to share? Or,
Room just feels electrified.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Electric,
Current.
yeah,
I feel like
electrical
a live
currents.
wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everything's connected. It's like the ground, the network is connected. Imagine living without a connection. You've got the Google space, the intelligence, you've got the information, but it can't get through. Then you turn on a switch and the entire system gets connected. The electrifying space. And space is, that's how you would describe space. So it is you, but you're the space. There's no separation. It's just. Great. Great. This was my desire today to give you this beautiful experience and 3 simple truths, 3 simple doors. And anything else becomes too complicated, you know. And if you look at it, the strive for knowledge, the yearning to be yourself, isn't that the deepest yearning? Just to be authentic, just to have that level of power which you deserve, you think you should have. And we're all striving for that. And we feel constrained when we are without this power because we can't create. This is exactly what every human wants because they're born to have this, create from that. So when you create from this space, your creativity is different than when you create from door number 1 or door number 2. Yeah.
This is the part at the end here that I find I enjoy the most because there's just that vibration.
Yeah.
And in many, in sports, you finish and you walk off.
Yeah.
And it's done.
It's done. Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas here, the room vibrates.
Yeah.
It's still going, but it's calming now.
Yeah. Yeah. The chant really lifted it because that's what I wanted to do today, to take it to a whole different level. So the chant, it was very intentional to create this electrifying source so you can experience that power because it becomes manifold, So transcendent happens, it happens. You create, it's not just awaken, you actually, it's just the seer, the state that it just, you are. And how can you not say, I am what I worship. I am what I wanted to be. I am the dream that I had.
I think what strikes me is when you get here, how few words can be expressed, and your reluctance almost to bother talking.
To bother, yeah.
Where when you're in door number 1, it's all language.
Yeah. Door number 1 is all language. Yeah.
Verbal diarrhea.
It's like 20 years of trying to explain
Yes.
what takes a few words when you're there.
Yeah. We start with no language, then we are brought up with language, and then everything, and some people just die, not with silence, but just the language. And language opens different doors, and it's a different tool, but to experience things and for creative purposes. But the inner states, your inner states and outer states, what you're creating, the creator has to be what is being created. The observer has to be what is being observed. In that, there's a melting, there's emergence, and there's emergence. And what merges is the entire cosmos in the sense, and you can feel how everything is just a connection. The sun shines because that's how you need to look at it today. Everything is in harmony. Everything, every storm. It doesn't matter how big the hurricane gets, there's in the center is stillness. So I say, be the eye of the hurricane. Because that's what we are. The power is inside, not it was created from that space. So it's really great. So did it help today? The conversation, the part,
Yeah, a lot.
the wisdom, yeah? Because understanding is so important. because otherwise we're groping in the dark. Yes, you can do your kriyas. Yes, we've got perfect kriya, but it'll take you much longer to experience yourself in these different states if you don't have understanding. Yeah. But once you have the understanding, it's so easy to recognize. And then it becomes a choice. Like I said, be in the company of what you want to be or what you are. And here's this door. There's no more in human experience that anybody else has described. Yeah.
So why do you have to leave?
There's no,
There's no time and space,
it's
so
door. This is how we all the time, this is what we are. This is what our entire cosmos is. Nobody's leaving. Nobody is just, it's ever changing, ever flickering. And this powerful, just electromagnetic things that pulls things towards you, that pulls ideas and objects and then creates a distance again. Whatever comes close, like inhale breath, then everything out, finished, void again, emptiness to emptiness, but yet experiencing everythingness in that.
I think I mean, I do get it in the sense that being present here,
Yeah.
I'm sure is a different experience than watching it tomorrow on Facebook. You know, not to, it's not, it's not better or worse. It's just
it's
totally
different.
So I understand when you say like be in the presence.
Yeah.
Literally.
It is literal. Yeah, it is. Because Facebook, it will carry the presence, but it'll only carry so far. Because you're in your own environment where these dimensions may not exist. So you're subjected to your own environment. And yet it's affecting you. But since you have not created that environment, you will not be able to experience it fully. That's why people go. They visit holy people. They go to sit in the presence.
Can you ask them?
Who?
Ask them what they're feeling now.
Oh, he's on the camera.
Oh, the people. I would love to because I'm sure they will tell me. There's quite a few views. Last week had about 900,000 views. So it somehow picks up because it goes on different sites and stuff. So
900,000?
yeah, it hits about 950 or something like that.
You're sampling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and many people actually pass them on. So we never get to see them, and we never know, and we don't need to know. What do I need to know? How many people are doing the Kriya? It's just delivery, and there's no outcome based that I have to have so many likes or so many. But on Facebook, you can see it, the views. Anybody who clicks on it, you will see that. Yeah, whether they like it or not, you will see the views. Yeah.
You know what's interesting too, just I'm sort of in this revelation space, I suppose. I was thinking like you feel incredibly connected, but I also feel like I'm seeing things with clarity. Like I'm, I kind of had a bit of a tussle with my son earlier. And now, but I feel like I can just see him. Like you say, the sun, like I can see everything within him. And so I would interact differently with him because I feel connected to him.
Yeah.
But I do see him outside of me also at the same time. I don't really
Yeah,
know how to
this is the
explain it.
simultaneous experience. That you're going to see the object, you're going to be the object, you're not going to, and you're going to see you created the object, and you're going to have a relationship with the object.
Yeah.
And you can see this is what you're creating is just, it's not cause and effect anymore here.
Yeah.
Because the second door and the first door definitely are cause and effect.
Yeah.
You create this. Here, you're not even, there's no such awareness.
Yeah.
It's just the cause happens to be a cause, happens to be a cause, happens to be a cause.
There's like no time delay.
Yeah. And no personal seer doing it.
Yeah.
Things are just happening. In that moment, this is what happened. This is what happened. This is what happened.
So is he still wrong?
That'll be a lot nicer. I feel a lot more open to suggestion.
And also the fear is not there because we always fear reaction. We fear if we will be heard. We fear that other person may not listen. That is gone. See the power? So you're just delivering because the power is delivering.
So how do you, and even you personally, Ruby, carry this through the day?
I don't do anything. I am the day.
But in the space. So
She's asking how you hold the space.
yeah,
How do you hold it?
Yeah.
For me, I think maybe because I so badly wanted to be here for so many years that I've consciously just owned the space and then just live. And then I, of course, do the kriyas because they just happen again. And also, everything that I deliver is part of the space, which is supporting the space even more. It's just happening. All the books were channeled. All the kriyas are channeled. It's not like I sat down and said, oh, what am I going to write and how am I going to write? All events were just channeled. They didn't happen. Nothing happened. It happened. It happened. So everything is just happening, finds its place, and then seems to, So it's just life. Life becomes you. You are still you, but yet you are not you. You're that.
Do you make a choice, or the choice is already made?
No, it's really, the choice is just so clear. I'll tell you the choice. The choice is I'm the creator. I am God. There's no other. Everything that
If you could choose to ignore it.
I do, I will do, because anything I don't need to see will not come in my sphere. Whatever I see, I'm creating. When you see something, you start to engage. It's creation, right? You create it in the mind. How does mind idea happen? You create the idea. You see the idea, it manifests. Then physical manifestation comes in later, right? So those are just the principles of creativity. That's how the cosmos creates. It's just in somebody's idea first, right? And then so I'm not a project. Ruby's not a project. She's not a spiritual project where I have to be from point A to point B. I had all of that, yes, but not now. And I'm also not a seeker anymore, because I'm not seeking. The power is me and I'm that power, and whatever I think is being created, whichever way. And there's, like you said, it's a self-governing system. You know that you're the creator. You have to pick up the litter. There's nobody walking behind you to pick up the litter. So all the systems in place that the cosmos has, the filtering systems, the filters, all the systems that keep it clean, they keep the toxicity out, all of them actually just come into place. There's no person behind you, a garbage guy coming who'll pick up stuff. That's the level of existence. Yeah. So it's different. And then yet you are not watching. It's just, as a seer you are, but the seer is what it's seeing. And in that moment, creativity has happened by the time you see it. Split second you see something, it happened, right? Now the forces, this dark force that we create through the kriya, this void, this space, will start to work. But creativity happened when you thought about it. It's done. Now the dark force, because you're in the space, you've embodied, you're as the force. You've taken your position as the force. The force itself will create it. Imagine having all the species in the world, all the humans in the world, who basically carry out each other's orders all the time. So you're not alone. Idea may have just been seen as the seer, but all of a sudden it's the force. So nothing is happening alone. Nothing is serving me alone. Right? The sun doesn't shine for me. It shines in everything. Right? In everything. Outside everything. Inside everything. So all species, it doesn't matter. All things basically are supporting each other. But we will come again, and we will come again, and we will come again, because that is what we humans do, right? Not bad, eh? How would you rate this talk, ladies, gentlemen?
Very special.
Oh, thumbs up. This was a special night. This is a
For the
special
second
night.
last night was really good.
Oh,
Can't wait to see
Yeah, really.
the grand finale.
okay. We'll do it. Let me know. Just email me or Facebook me and say, Ruby, we want another one. But, and listen to this one. Listen, experience it again. And that third door is not work. The meditation basically gives you the dark space. The dark force keeps increasing with the technique. It's not just a meditation. It actually creates more space. Now, you saw, right? Because you can see in that space a thought came. Then you could see yourself engaging. You could see everything. But it was coming, rising and falling from this dark force. Forces were always at work creating something. So I am that force. When you actually do this kriya, you claim the force. You are the force. You just haven't seen yourself as that. You only saw yourself as emotion, snapshot, idea, belief, perception. Not anymore. Not anymore. You're not a snapshot. So you're just moving, basically, consciousness, just moving. Yeah.
But since you said, you have to watch it again, now I kind of feel bad because within that thing I have that tickle in my stomach, so every time in a special thing I have to cough, so that will interrupt for everybody's, when they try to re-listen to it.
I clear my throat many times.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah. It's not a big,
Yeah, don't.
yeah.
Probably loudest within you.
Didn't wake me up.
That's part of the sound. That's part of the sound effect. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, let me know and we'll get together.
Wednesday works good for me.
Wednesday works good for you.
Me too.
Me too.
Okay. What is your day?
Tuesday.
Okay, great. Wednesday evening. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Wednesday evening, we're on.
You're at 7?
Squish it in.
7 to 8.
All right.
And Thursday, I leave.
Can I throw out the idea, because I know you have connections for a recording studio in India.
Yes.
So the chant is like a shortcut at some level. Like instead of reminding yourself, I'm
Yeah,
wondering, is
yeah.
it possible to record it?
Yeah.
Like high def,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that vibration, because it's
Yeah.
sometimes if you can't be in the presence,
Yes.
Hearing it just recharges you right away and allows you to come back
Okay.
to door number 3 sooner.
Yeah,
I don't-
definitely. Yeah.
I think
I
that
have
would
the
be
Om
amazing.
Namah Shivaya already professionally recorded. So we can send those out to you. Okay.
This
Yeah.
has got like
But
a
this one
singer.
today was different. So I will record it there because this was not a buffet. I did a lot of mix, because to create that speed and to get out,
Yeah.
it's like a rocket taking off, right? So I just didn't want to stay in that space, be comfortable. Wanted to break through and then be in that spaceless space.
I feel like that would be really effective.
So I will do that.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, record something, and definitely record it and send it back. Because you're right, it's in the sound vibration. It is. That's a direct presence too. Yeah, because you do nothing else. You just turn that on, and it'll shift. The door number 3 is open now. It's already open. Yeah, and then you will remember even little things, right? Oh, Rachel. Peter's here. Okay, great. Thank you so much. God bless. Namaste. Namaste. Yeah. And I want to wish everybody who has been watching this well, and we'll see you soon again.
So where do I fly into?
Oh, I hope it didn't.